Welcome to Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes Podcast. I'm Bert Lepore. He's Damian Monte Carlo. We're hanging here with Angry Mike G, and we're talking Motley Crue, the studio records.
All right, here we are back for episode 5 of Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes. And today we're doing the top 9 Motley Crue records. Not top 10 because they don't have 10, only 9. So, which is kind of surprised they only have 9 studio albums, but we definitely got them all. So, so I guess we did the Van Halen one last week. So I guess to continue on with the LA bands, I guess, I guess they're like the next big band to come out of there after Van Halen. So yeah, I guess it seemed appropriate to do them. So
number 9 in last place, and rightfully so, in my opinion.
Yeah,
is New Tattoo. What do you think of New Tattoo, Dame?
I think it belongs dead last. I dusted that one off. Man, it's really not that good. I think it sounds like a demo. I think, and Mike Klink, who did produced Appetite for Destruction, produced the record, and you would think, like, I saw his name on the album when it came out and I first got it. I was like, oh, it's got to be a great sounding record. And it was like the worst sounding album in general out of any band. I think it was just fucking terrible.
It was bad, man. At that point, you figure Tommy Lee wasn't really getting along with Vince Neil. You had all that stuff going on, and that's when Tommy left pretty much. And Tommy left because he thought the band was going backwards. And guess what? I totally agree.
Yeah.
I think if this record came out between Theater of Pain and Girls, 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 it might have worked back then, at least when I was younger. Because it's hard to absorb them bad lyrics now. And I don't know. I mean, some of the music was okay, but the songs in general, the songs were just awful. That was the first one, Randy Castillo in the band.
Yeah, I mean, it had its moments. I think, like, looking at the track listing, I think the single, Hell on High Heels, was decent. I really like Pornostar, that song. There might be like one or two. Punching His Teeth by Love is okay.
The first band on the moon, the music was kind of cool. Then
that was pretty good. Yeah.
Of course, I don't know what they were doing. If they were just, it sounded like. I mean, I agree with Tommy Lee. I thought it definitely went backwards. Mike, what do you think on that one?
Yeah, it just didn't have that. It had the Motley Crue sound without having the Motley Crue sound. It was missing Tommy Lee. I mean, you could tell it was missing Tommy.
Yeah,
and it sounded like that. They were trying to be themselves, It's like they're trying to find themselves.
Yeah,
almost, like.
I mean, and that's also Randy Castillo got sick before they even toured, and then from Hole, did the tour, which was, I mean, that's even crazy. Randy passed away in like 2002, and then Tommy Lee returned around 2004.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't like New Tattoo. I thought, it's a stinker.
Oh, big time. I mean, the guitar tone, it doesn't sound like Mick Mars' signature sound. It just sounds like real weak sounding album, man. Like
we were 16.
So this was like
yeah.
Oh, this was we all picked New Tattoo.
Yeah.
For last place.
Yeah.
It's a piece of shite.
It is. Yeah. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Let's move on to one of the little more popular ones. Let's move on to number 8, Theater of Pain. Dan, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody thinks that this is like their worst album from the original lineup. It's definitely the worst one from the 80s, without a doubt. I never really liked the album either. I mean, and this is like the first album where there's like a constant theme. Like, other than the singles, the rest of the records pretty much suck. I mean, the rest of the songs kind of like suck. I mean, Louder Than Hell was cool. Smoking the Boyers Room, I hate that song. I can't stand it. Home Sweet Home it's classic, but it's classic. I mean, Louder Than Hell I liked. I don't know, like Raise Your Hands to Rock. It's just like cheesy. Fight for Your Rights was decent. It was okay. Tonight We Need a Lover, I thought was like a really good song.
Yeah, that was okay.
You know, for the record, but you know, they changed their image a bit. You know, kind of threw people off.
Yeah, it was. They went a little glammier looking. I mean, I like the idea that they changed their look for every record, which was kept it interesting, kind of like Kiss in the sense that they changed their look for every record.
Right.
Motley was shooting for there. What do you think of Theater of Pain, Mike?
I mean, I think I had it higher than you guys. I know that. But still ended up probably where it belongs. And I guess I'm giving that record a little more leniency because I kind of grew up like that was one of the Motley. I had that on like tape, and I would listen to that one. So like back in the day, that was like one of the go-to albums. So I think I put a little too high, but
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
I mean, it was released right after the whole thing with Vince Neil. You know, when he got arrested for the car crash, and like you said,
it's probably their height of.
Oh, they were hot. Like, yeah, they were big. I mean, they were big.
Yeah.
I mean, they had huge videos with "Smoking in the Boys' Room," who was originally recorded by Brownsville Station, and "Home Sweet Home" was ridiculously huge.
That was huge, massive. I mean, you take away those two songs, and that would have probably.
The rest of the album's not that good. "Louder Than Hell's" good. I like "Louder Than Hell."
Yeah.
I mean, for me, "Louder Than Hell," "Save Our Souls," and "Home Sweet Home" were the three that I liked off that record.
Right, but they're not. It's not like classic, you know.
Yeah.
Like you look at Shout at the Devil, every song on that is like a classic. You look at Theater of Pain, it's like, oh man, there's like a lot of filler stuff on there.
There's a lot of filler. I mean, I couldn't wait when the album came out. I was like the first one at the record bar on Patchogue Avenue.
Oh yeah,
you get it. Jerry Record Bar was like, I'm like, oh, where's the Motley Crue? I got it, and I loved it at the time, but it's not one that I think, aged well.
Right.
It definitely didn't.
Nah, not at all. Yeah.
But Theater of Pain. Mike ranked it somewhere in between. Me and you ranked it pretty low, so it falls at number 8, which brings us to the last studio album at number 7, Saints of Los Angeles.
Yeah, this one has its moments again. You know, again, it just seemed like they were just trying too hard. You know, like just to, I don't know, Motherfucker of the Year. That's a shitty song. I mean, I thought Down at the Whiskey, some of the poppier stuff was better.
Right.
Like that one. I think Chicks Equal Trouble was decent.
I like
but everything else is
good.
Yeah.
Bass
title track.
Liked. And that's pretty much about it. But it wasn't terrible. I didn't think it was terrible.
No, I thought Saints of Los Angeles was I thought it was pretty decent. The title track I thought was great.
Yeah.
It was cool. I wasn't a fan of Down at the Whiskey. It was too poppy for me at the time. You know, Chicks Equal Trouble, I wasn't that big on that. I like White Trash. Was it White Trash Circus? I like that.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
Kind of had the Marilyn Manson 3/4. I thought
Another Psycho was really good.
Another Psycho I thought was really good.
Right.
Like you said, it was them trying to fit in now. And I mean, most of the album was written by Nick, pretty much 6 a.m.
Yeah. And a lot of people, the big rumor is that the guitar player, DJ Ashba, played on a lot of the record. That's always been a rumor. Now, it wouldn't surprise me.
No, and
Nick was in pretty bad shape.
You tell James probably, wrote them melodies.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy's a good writer.
Yeah.
That guy's a real good writer. And but I think Vince sounded great on the record.
Mm-hmm. He always sounds pretty good, you know. I mean, people give him a lot of shit about, a lot of things about him, but he always sounded good, like on record,
Yeah.
I mean, I liked it back in the day, and I got to say, it's a really challenge for me to listen to chipmunk vocals, should I say? I mean, so that's like, for me, it just doesn't work anymore on a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, Vince at that point was, and we all know that he skips every other word.
Yeah.
He does all that crap. And I mean, he's a good entertainer. When Vince was good, he was good. And then as he got older,
got lazy.
Yeah, I didn't want to say lazy, but lazy.
Yeah.
Every other word, don't even, when you sing something, if the word is you know, you might say it like, yeah, you know, just so, so it fits.
David Lee
and,
Roth got away with it. Vince can't.
Yeah, Dave still looks like Dave, you know?
Right.
Well, I'm talking about because he kind of skips stuff and jumps over stuff too.
But he's got so much.
But it
character.
has such a. It doesn't sound like he's trying to.
Yeah.
No, Dave's not doing the show. Dave is the show, you know?
Yeah, it's weird. Like Vince live, like he skips the words, but he still has his range. Like he doesn't like fake the melody lines as far as like the high stuff.
Right. He tried.
He still hits it. I mean, he still has his range. It's not like he can't do it. He can do it. He just chooses not to.
Right. I think at this point, as you get older, that you don't have to run around the stage the whole time. Maybe if you just stood still a little bit and not worry about running around. Listen, you already made your bones. You don't have to fucking, you don't have to be Bruce Dickinson and run around and sing. Not everybody when they get to that age. Even Paul Stanley, same thing. Dude, just chill, you know?
Yeah.
Even something like, you know, to go on the Kiss for a second, is that Paul's deep voice is good. Tune the frig down. What's the big deal? Tune down.
Yeah, well, they do now.
Now they do, yeah. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with tuning down if it sounds better, you know? And Motley, the weird thing with Motley, they're tuned so damn low that he sounds higher than what he actually is.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I tried to cover a couple Motley songs, and guess what? It's rough. It's not easy.
Yeah, you got to tune down with it, or else it's like almost impossible.
It's weird because it sounds so high, and it's not as high as you think.
Yeah.
It's strange. It's really, it's definitely strange. But States of Los Angeles, I liked it. You know, it's a decent record, and it was cool that they tried to go for something to fit in a little bit. But that song was relevant. I thought that song in that video was pretty damn good.
Yeah, it still holds up.
It still holds up, and
sonically, I think sonically it still sounds really good.
It sounds.
They're usually always good.
Yeah, musically.
Yeah.
It sounds so good. It was produced really, really, really.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It was produced really well. So let's move on to the one that Vince came back. Number 6, Generation Swine.
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like this one. It's actually one of my favorite ones. I got this. I was so excited, like when this came out. I remember I bought like the Japanese import because I could get it for like a week or two earlier.
Right.
And it came with like a couple bonus tracks, but I think probably because I paid like $40 for it, like I forced myself to like it. So, you know, I listened to it like a million times when it came out, and I actually do really like it. You know, it's different sound, but I don't know. To me, I've heard some people say that it sounds dated. I don't really think it does. I still think it holds up.
I think it's a little all over the place, which is fine.
Well, I think some Motley Crue stuff downstairs. Look at it.
Yeah,
But,
the voice.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely tell.
Yeah.
When just about every one of their albums came.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Generation Swine had some really, really good songs on it. That was the record, you know, Karabi in the beginning was still in the band.
Yeah.
And some of them songs, you know, they were writing with Karabi. And the problem was that they were getting so much pressure from the record label because they just signed this big deal that they wanted Vince back, you know, for the money. You know, Vince is going to draw money. So, and they didn't draw money with the Motley Crue record itself from '94. And that was the problem. They got a lot of pressure. And Tommy, Nicky, and probably Mick really didn't want Vince back.
Yeah, you could tell they didn't want him back.
They really didn't want Vince back. Maybe money-wise, but as far as I think they were pretty damn happy with the Karabi thing. And it was just songwriting. It was different with Karabi, which I'm sure we'll talk about later.
Oh, we got a lot about that.
But I think the album, Generation Swine, I think it had some really good spots on it. It was punky. It was catchy. There was even a song that sounded like the Misfits on it. And,
yeah.
You know,
anybody out there?
Yeah.
Oh, I had that one down. That I really.
That was a good song.
Beauty, I think, is.
It was good. Yeah.
That was written about. What was that? Remember that Hugh Grant and the Divine? Yeah. It was written about that. Yeah.
I'm going to say something. I like to it.
Generation, yeah.
And I'm going to say what I'm noticing. Most of Motley Crue's title tracks, except for maybe one or two albums, which is great songs.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
that's usually the title track things.
It's a hodgepodge record. It sounded like they had like a bunch of like 30 demos and just Again, like we talked in the last episode with some, with the later Van Halen stuff, too many songs. You didn't need all the songs. You really didn't need.
Yeah, this one had 13.
If you have that many songs, save it for another album.
Right.
Yeah.
That's 10 and save it for another record. But
Shout out to Devil in '97. What they have to do that for? That was. I don't like it. I mean,
I think
they play that live. I can't stand it when they play that.
Cool parts, but
they chunked it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's just not.
I think I think somebody did a mix of it and sent it to them. They thought it was a cool idea because it was more relevant, I guess, at the time.
Right.
Up the guitar a little bit. I mean, it was even some of that record was even a little industrial.
Yeah. I was fine with that.
Yeah, you had Nikki singing, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Tommy sang the song, which what's weird with the Tommy song? It's about a son, so it's cool. So you get away with it. But there is that little Beatle part that's really good in it.
Yeah, I don't like that, man.
I like the Beatles.
Yeah.
There were some cool parts.
Yeah,
absolutely. I didn't. There wasn't many on the list that I actually hated.
No, Let Us Pray was another good song.
Yeah, Karabi's on that. You can hear him on that.
Yeah.
There's like a scream, I think, before I don't think there's a guitar solo, but there's like a breakdown. It's totally him.
Right.
And he's on the credits. He gets.
Did he play guitar on that too in the final, or you don't know?
I don't know. He says that he did do some stuff on that and a few other songs. I would love to hear the versions of him on it.
Oh, me too.
I mean,
I know. It's going to be great, probably.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is that I think when Vince was brought back in, Karabi was still there. I think he was actually helping out a little bit.
Yeah. Just like kind of coaching him along.
Yeah, crazy, man. Anything else in Generation Swine?
No, I mean, I remember I saw that they played the Electric Factory. Remember, it was like a listening party, but they played the whole. It wasn't really a listening party. I mean, I guess it was, but they played the whole record live. Like they performed it, and they put like a couple classic songs in there. But I thought that was kind of cool that they did that.
Yeah, I know. Well, you figure they went from playing like I guess I still call it the Spectrum, wherever it's called now, but they went from playing there to playing the Electric Factory. A lot of smaller crowds for some reason. I don't know what.
But I think that was on purpose though, because they did like only like maybe half a dozen major cities.
Right. Were you there?
They played the.
Were you there at the when they did? Remember they did something at the Spectrum. Remember they were all outside. They did that interview.
The press conference.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was cool. Yeah.
It was cool. You seen at the time, I guess. What was it? Mosh and Thrash, the Headbangers.
From
WWF. They were walking around.
Yeah.
Remember that?
That's right. Yeah.
It was wild.
Yeah.
But
it was a press conference for the arena tour that fall, which they wound playing the Spectrum like in September or something, or October that year, I remember.
Very, very
But that was I remember I went to that show too, and that was kind of like,
rough. I didn't go to
attendance wasn't that great. The Electric Factory was sold out. I mean, it's 2,000 people, but the Spectrum was pretty dead, I remember.
You remember those days, concerts?
Yeah.
These kids growing up know what they are.
Yeah.
Right.
Now you can pay $25 and watch it at home.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to 1987. Number 5, Girls.
Yeah, I mean, again, man, I don't want to sound like a hater or anything, because I'm not. But a lot of their albums, again, man, like aside from the singles, there's like a lot of filler material. Like if it wasn't for a While Inside and Girls, this probably would have been a pretty shit album.
I kind of like Dancing on Glass. Is kind of
Dancing on Glass is good. Yeah,
You're All I Need. It was all right too.
Yeah, but there's no other like. It's like you have a couple great songs, you have some good ones, and then there's a few bad ones. It's like all over the place. It's not like
it was like really good up
consistent.
It just
died.
Yeah, that was their third record for the band to go quadruple platinum too.
Well, you got to read that. Girls. That's just an iconic. Not that I go to them, but strip club.
Oh yeah,
absolutely, it still is.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Well, I mean that's you're bound to hear that song no matter pretty much what strip you walk in.
Yeah. I mean, it peaked at number 2 in the Billboard charts, which is crazy because it would have been number 1 if it wasn't for Whitney Houston.
I know that.
Whitney Houston put out that called in. Otherwise, they probably would have had a number 1 record with that. But Wild Side, Girls, 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 instant classics. Definitely instant classics. Dancing on Glass, Bad Boy Boogie. So right after them couple songs, and Nona was half decent, after them songs, it went downhill. I don't ever need to hear anybody do Jailhouse Rock.
No.
All right.
Elvis did Jailhouse Rock.
I don't need to hear Jailhouse. Why? That's what they should have called it. Why?
Yeah.
It seemed like they got 2 great songs, 2 cool Aerosmith kind of sounding songs, and the rest of the record was.
Again, I'm not a cover guy. It's
a waste. I think it's.
I don't mind covers when you're going to do a lesser known song of a band or something like that.
Right. If you're going to do a huge, I mean, Jailhouse Rock. I mean, it's a waste of a song. Why do that?
Rock.
Yeah.
I don't. Nothing against Elvis, but that's not even an Elvis tune I would pick.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, Girls, 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 huge record for them too, and they were probably really messed up at this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they picked Jailhouse Rock.
That was probably the height of their, the drugs and all that.
Oh yeah. Now I didn't go on that tour. I didn't see that tour. Did you go on that tour, Dame? The Girls, Girls, Girls tour where.
No, I didn't see him till way later than that.
And I think that was like a huge tour. That's when Tommy Lee was doing his. That would have been the first time Tommy Lee did something, right?
He did it on. He did something on Theater of Pain where I think the drum riser went straight up.
I think I remember that. I don't.
I
remember seeing it like on TV and stuff.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
But I think the drums went out and up.
Oh, okay.
On Girls, 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 it went like out and like spun around.
That was just freaking badass.
Yeah, that was the best one. I still think that was the best.
Yeah,
I mean, if I remember, he was actually playing upside down.
Oh yeah.
How do you freaking do it? Come on,
Tommy Lee.
Yeah.
He's lucky he didn't hit himself in the face. I'm not the kid. We all saw that video.
And you had the backup singers too.
Nasty Habits.
Yeah.
They were. Yeah. The Nasty Habits. And Mick married one, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
He married one of them. And they got divorced.
Right, of course.
That's rock and roll.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to number 4. Dr. Feelgood.
Yeah, this is like, I think this is like their like top to bottom. Like, I mean, I think there's a couple throwaways, but nothing like the previous records. I think on this one they finally got it, like where almost every song was like a hit. I mean, all the singles, but they had like 4 or 5 singles on this one. Everything was like pretty massive,
Yeah, at least. What do you think of Feel Good?
You want the full story? Because I never liked this album. This was always my Pits album.
Go figure.
Right. But when I got this, I was so hyped up for it. And I should have known from all the interviews that we're off the drugs, we're doing an album off of drugs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I hated it. It didn't really, it sounded like an old man's band for me at that time, in a certain sense.
I mean, some people could say it was the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
Right. When I just listened to this again, I mean, I have it one lower. I had it at 5 on mine.
I think Dame had it
I
at
liked it a lot better now
3.
than I did before.
2.
Yeah.
4. You were pretty high with it. I was right behind.
Yeah, it was either 2 or 3. I forget. Yeah.
I said I definitely like this a lot more now than I did before. Back then, it was just production was great on the sound.
Absolutely.
It was.
Oh man,
absolutely.
It's amazing. It still sounds great.
It's a great sounding record. I mean, the band finally gets a number 1 record. They finally get a number 1 record, and they're sober. They're rehab supposedly, and they unleash hits like Dr. Feelgood, Kickstart My Heart, Don't Go Away, Man. Same old. Without you. I mean,
that's 5. It's 5 massive hits. I mean,
5 massive hits, but the Motley Way the rest of the stuff was like, what the hell? Change was okay, but like She Goes Down, it was
yeah.
I mean, it's stuff I liked when I was younger, but it's hard to listen to now.
Yeah. Rattlesnake Shake, I thought was probably the best of the non-singles.
Musically, Mick Mars sounds great.
Yeah.
The riff sounds great.
The band's just so good with this album.
They are. They're real, and that's Rich where you give it to.
This is where they actually sound like they matured as a band.
Yeah.
Even from the future albums, they kind of just changed. It sounds different.
Listen, it just proves how good Bob Rock is as a producer. That this is what sparked him, or Metallica, to get him the Black Album. And that album, when anybody says that album is still huge, it's still huge.
Oh yeah.
And there's no denying it. Bob Rock.
Mm-hmm. Back. Well, he did. The reason Motley Crue liked the Kingdom Come record, he produced the Kingdom Come record, and they wanted him. They wanted him to, they love the drum sound so much.
Drum sound, best. He's got the best drum sound. The best.
So they hired him from that, and then Metallica got him from this one.
Another Kingdom Come reference. Too.
Another Kingdom Come.
That's right.
Yeah,
we had one last week.
We get Kingdom Come in each episode. Yeah. Lenny Wolf. I think that was the singer, Lenny Wolf.
Hold it for the next one.
That's right. I don't want to give it all up now. I want to hold it for the next one. But Dr. Feelgood, 90% of the album is great. Little cheese with some of the stuff, but for the most part, it's iconic. It's another, and the album cover was awesome too, by the way. I love the album cover. And and that was the first tour I seen them on.
Did you? Yeah, I didn't see them on this one.
I seen them twice on that tour. I seen them with, I think Faster Pussycat opened up for them, and then maybe Warren. And that's another band. Warren, man, they don't get any credit. Yeah, underrated. As far as band live, I don't know if you ever seen them. They're heavy live.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't believe how heavy they were live.
Yeah.
And I was the first time, I think, before it even came out, they did Uncle Tom's Cabin. I was like,
oh really?
This, yeah. It was a really underrated band. Really underrated.
Oh, without a doubt.
But talking about heavy, let's go to number 3. Motley Crue, the 1994 record. What do you think, Dan?
I think it's now this one, top to bottom, is every song. I love every song on this one. It sounds great. I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's like they're, when I heard this, I was like, okay, now maybe they can do what Van Halen did, with two different singers, but it didn't catch on. People just didn't, they didn't really grab it. I think now, all these years later, I think a lot of people love it, but at the time, I think people were just confused. But I mean, every song is great, and it's super heavy.
Yes,
I love this. Yeah. This is a great album. It could have even been number 1 for me, but I wasn't.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
thinking I could have, but I had to go 3. I think we all picked 3 on this, right? Did we all pick?
Yeah, I mean,
I picked this at 3.
I say a lot of times. I do say this. This is my favorite one. I mean, I don't know if it's the best. The best doesn't have to be your favorite. It's
right.
But this probably is my favorite one.
Usually, it's like the album with a different singer just doesn't work, and especially if this is pretty much just a one-off for Karabi.
Yeah,
I mean, he did a couple.
Yeah.
Out on the what was it, Generation Swine?
He was involved somewhat, not out in front, but he was somewhere.
Wow.
I mean,
it was a whole different direction.
I think most of us call this the Karabi record,
Yeah.
And it's awesome. This is the only record without Vince, even though Vince's voice is distinctive. And when you think of the Crew, you think of that voice. But with that being said, Karabi is a frigging beast.
Yeah, he wasn't even trying to do this. He was just being himself.
No, Karabi's tone, the scratch, that he can play guitar. I mean, I love Karabi. Everything Karabi does, his voice is just so good. And then you had songs like Uncle Jack, Hooligan's Holiday, Love Shine, Misunderstood. If Misunderstood
Poison Apples.
Poison Apples. If Misunderstood came out in '89, it would have been huge.
You wonder what songs, because they were working on stuff with Vince.
Right.
Like when they fired him. I wonder if any of this stuff was from that time, you know?
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, I even listened to some. If you go on YouTube, there's some rehearsals.
There's a couple.
Yeah.
I picture Vince though. I can hear him doing Hooligan's Holiday. That's kind of in his range, but not much more.
Yeah, not as good.
Yeah, maybe like I don't know.
Poison Apples,
Poison Apples, yeah. You know,
Little Punks, but it's just, man, that scratch. Even Hooligan's Holiday, that first little where it's just a stop and go, and man, and I gotta say, the best drum sound ever on a record.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
What do you want your drummer to sound like? I say, sound like
that.
this.
Yeah.
The music, when that kicks on, you're like, it's the best drum sound between Bob Rock and Tommy Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Best drum sound ever. I mean,
they spent a lot of time recording that album, and I'm sure they spent a hell of a lot of money on that too.
That album should have been used. The only mistake I think that they made with that record is maybe they should have called the band a different name.
Yeah, you know,
I don't know.
A lot of people say that.
You know, I don't know if you got away with that back in the day. I mean,
I'm sure you could have.
Well, I mean,
you just had to break up Motley Crue.
But like, look at what's his name from the Foo Fighters?
It very rarely works.
If that really works. Why can't I think of his name right now?
David Grohl.
Grohl. Yeah.
Like Dave Grohl. You know, Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters. I mean, he went from a band that was huge to another band that's huge.
Yeah.
That's tough to do. You know, you don't really see that.
He did a lot of stuff in between too.
Yeah, he was another guy you didn't
he had his hands in a lot of things.
Yeah, absolutely. But
them Twisted Vultures, that's a great album.
Them Crooked Vultures. Twisted Sister will be another.
Them Crooked Vultures.
Them damn crooked.
Those damn crows.
Yeah, them crows. See?
Smoke another.
Yeah, smoke another one. All right, we're going to move on to number 2. Going back to 1981, produced by Motley Crue themselves. Too Fast for Love.
Yeah, this is it always reminded me of like a heavy Cheap Trick record, you know?
Yeah.
Like a punk, like almost like a punky metal kind of Cheap Trick. I mean, it's a lot of the songs, Take Me to the Top and Public Enemy #1, they're kind of poppy, but Piece of Your Action is really heavy. Live Wire is heavy. Starry Eyes I felt was cool. Come On and Dance is like a little of both. I mean, it's a classic. You know? Yeah.
Absolutely, Mike. What do you think?
Definitely. This is my go-to album.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was great.
This was another one that
it was. I don't want to say groundbreaking, but it changed things up.
Oh yeah, I think it's groundbreaking for
time when that came out. When before they got their deal, nobody really looked or sounded like that at the time. Because New Wave was in.
Mm-hmm.
You figure that early '81, you had your probably Blondies and stuff like that, and I don't know what else was out in '81, but the music was going to that new romantic.
The Knack.
Yeah.
They never came into that room.
No, they kind of did their own thing. They stole a little here from there, but
they never came into that keyboard.
No, not really. Not at all. And the first edition, I think they put out like something like 900 copies on leather records or something like that.
Yeah, you ever hear that version?
Yeah, it's raw, man. It's
really raw. Yeah,
I don't think I've heard that.
It's pretty raw. It's good. And then Elektra picked them up. They signed them, I think, like the following year, and I think they remixed a little bit of it, and then they
recut.
Yeah,
they recut the vocals too.
Yeah, they switched up a couple things, but I mean, it's got great songs: Live Wire, Take Me to the Top, Piece of Your Action, Ring Around, On with the Show.
Yeah,
different. Even his vocals.
Too Fast for Love.
Too Fast for Love. The whole record's good. I mean, this could have easily slid into one. This could have slid into one. I was close, and then I changed my mind at the last second when I really thought about it. But yeah, Too Fast for Love, iconic.
Yeah.
I remember Hit Parader magazine?
Mm-hmm.
I remember before I got into Motley Crue, I remember seeing a picture of him, and Mick Mars was like, looked like he was spitting blood.
Yeah.
I was like,
I remember seeing, yeah.
Remember the pictures? Yeah. I was like, they're wearing like, like I said, you're thinking, oh, it's kind of like Kiss, spitting blood. They had the makeup on.
Yeah, dude, they're wearing like high heels, thigh-high boots, like not even platforms. They were wearing like straight up like hooker shoes.
Get your hooker boots.
Yeah.
You have these in a size 11?
Yeah. You have a 14. Man.
I guess they're fine, but
now that they're all wearing a size 14.
Back then, it was probably tough finding that size.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah, right.
Let's move on to number one. Number one, 83. Shout at the devil, Dame.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest records I think from that decade, and I think this was like the one that kind of like, I know Quiet Riot was like the first band from LA to have a huge hit, but I think this one like really stands the test of time. Shout at the devil, and I like those first two records. I think every song is great. I mean, I don't know what happened after that. Maybe they're just trying to pump albums out every other year, and but I don't know. Top to bottom, I think it's great. I mean, the intro, man, they used to creep me out. I mean, it was the pentagram, the way they looked, everything like, everything you wanted as a kid, like, metal, horror. I mean, it was right there. Yeah. Everything your parents would freaking hate,
Yeah, exactly.
Bastard. I mean, Children of the Beast, the instrumental was like really like wicked. Even the cover, I mean, Helter Skelter, I thought was, definitely the best cover they've ever done.
Yeah. I think so.
I'll say it was definitely one of the best Helter Skelter ones I've heard. I still don't think it compares to the Beatles.
I agree with that. That's one of the few covers, and I love the Beatles, but I actually prefer the Motley version over the Beatles.
Me too. Yeah.
And I think it's because there's an extra part where Motley don't do it so many times. I don't know what the other part is, but whatever it is, they say it one extra time and it kind of throws it off, because the Beatles do shit like that, and Motley kind of just keeps it straight. It's easier for me to follow, maybe.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that Helter Skelter version better. I mean, you got to figure, Shout at the Devil was their breakthrough record.
Mm-hmm.
The songs, the pentagrams. I was like 10 years old, I think, at the time. So I was born in 73, so 83. I was 10 years old. And it was perfect. It was just perfect. First time, besides seeing them in Hit Parader, first time actually hearing and seeing them on TV was on MTV with Looks to Kill.
Yeah.
We just had everything. I was hooked. I was in all the way. I was all in. Yeah,
those two videos were so good. I mean,
Too Young to
Fall. That video, it's like watching like an 80s kung fu movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dude, I love the Japanese.
so much going on. Yeah.
They didn't play it that much. When they played it, I was excited. I was like,
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah, it was a cool video.
Yeah, you have to watch that like Headbangers Ball if you want to watch it.
Yeah, every once in a while they would throw it on,
right.
but you would never really see that video. I don't know why. They had the gong at the end. They're eating the rice.
Right. Yeah. At the end of the video, Tommy Lee's walking out. He picks up the rice. He was
thinking hard about the rice when they first walked in.
Yeah, right. He looks down at it, and then at the end, when everybody's walking out, you pick that up, right? He picks up.
I'm going to get me some of this shit.
Yeah. And then he spits it out, and I think he spits it out, and like some ninja comes out, and he I don't know,
whacks him out.
He whacks him.
Albert.
And then the girl and the old guy, you only see one side of the face, and they turn. They turn like that, and you see like the Motley Crue, how they have like the lines on their face.
Dude, as a kid, we were loving
it. Yeah. And what's funny is I always thought that video looked exactly like All Hell's Breaking Loose Kiss video.
Yeah.
I was like, it was the same director.
Oh, here you go.
I found out later on. It was the same director. I think.
Did Look Up was that 83? That might have been 83 too, right? I
think the Kiss version was first. I think.
Close.
I don't know. I don't know what came. I think the Kiss one came first, but the video is almost identical. Both videos. It's like watching. I was like, all right, maybe it wasn't a hit for Kiss, but let's try it for Motley Crue.
Yeah, and I love the song. I mean.
Yeah.
for Motley, Shout at the Devil was the beginning for me, and that's why I got hooked on the Crue. You know, I love them. I mean,
yeah.
And they're still relevant, whether it's because of the paparazzi and they're always in the news and who they're sleeping with or who they're married to.
Well, I'm sure that really helped them doing all that crazy shit. Yeah.
All them other bands faded out. They were, when you talk like the late 80s or 80s hair metal bands, only a few really survive without that tag. Motley gets that tag, but they don't. They get the pass. There's not many bands.
Right. Yeah.
They get a pass on that. You know? Plus all the crazy stuff. They were so pop culture.
Yeah. I mean, I mean,
there's not many. There's really not. Can you think of anybody else? I don't know.
Well, I mean, do you consider Bon Jovi?
Yeah, but Bon Jovi changed his stuff. Bon Jovi reinvented himself like twice, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, for better or for worse, he reinvented himself and he knew how to stay relevant. You know, like The Undertaker in wrestling. He was around forever, but he knew how to change up the character to still stay relevant. You know,
it worked. Yeah.
That'll be another day. But yeah, they stood relevant. Somehow they stood relevant.
Partly they got a great name.
Yeah, that's like one of the better names.
Well, you know what, too? I mean, you have like 1, 2 like Thriller-like albums, you know, like those guys did.
Yeah.
And, you know, that will sustain your whole friggin' life, you know, like Def Leppard, Hysteria.
Yeah.
Pyromania, they had 2 mega albums, like just like Bon Jovi, you know, and a lot of they had a ton of more records that did really well, but you had like those 1 or 2 mega records. You could tour on that for the rest of your life.
Right. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about in the future with this band, like the Cult. You know, for me, I'm a fan of the Cult. I like everything a little bit, but Sonic Temple. That's
awesome. Yeah.
The record. That was our time frame, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Timing. That's the go-to record, top to bottom.
I can still listen to that now. It doesn't even really sound too dated.
No, it still sounds.
But you know what? It's funny. Like the some of the diehard Cult fans, they don't like that's like their sellout record. Yeah, but I mean, maybe because I came in at that time, so that's like my.
I think I'm better. I think I'm better at that point.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah. So staying relevant. You know?
So would they have been as big if they named themselves Christmas like they were originally?
Who Motley Crue?
Yeah.
No, not at all. It wouldn't work. It would have been
Christmas new album, Shout at the Devil.
Yeah. That would have worked really well. And even about talking about the Crue, did you watch the movie?
Yeah.
What did you think of the movie?
I thought it was okay. It was fun. It was a fun movie. You know, I'm the worst critic when it comes to rock movies. Like, you know, like I pick out all the inaccuracies from the music gear they're playing to the clothes that they wear and to the music playing in the background when it's supposed to be 1985 and they're playing a song that came out in 88. I'm just wired weird like that. All that shit bothers me.
A lot of liberties, even with the Queen movie. They took a lot of liberties, and they didn't
so that stuff bugs me. And there's very few rock movies that I like.
Right.
It was fun. I mean, I try to kind of look at it through, different eyes. But
I thought it was fun, but you know, like the part where like Vince leaves and they all come to see Vince and they're all hodgepodging and in the bar that ain't what happened.
Right? Yeah.
I didn't see it. I don't even really want to watch it.
It was worth watching. It was a fun movie.
I don't know. I stay away from movies just in general. I don't even want to watch
Angry Mike. That's why I call him Angry Mike.
I just don't even want to watch. I feel like you invest yourself an hour and a half, 2 hours. It just sucks. That's what happens. Like,
I love it when it's bad. I like movies.
Yeah, but bad like it's just like high production bad is not good. I
did think it was better than the Queen movie.
Yeah. Well, I was never like a big Queen fan.
Really?
I just never really got into them.
Their early stuff was really good. Then when they kind of moved into the 80s a little bit, it kind of got cheesed.
Yeah, they always looked weird. I mean, with me, it's always had to have been like the music had to be great and they had to look cool. I mean, I don't know. I was never into bands where the singer had a mustache. It's just weird.
Yeah, kind of
mustache. That's 2 mustache references in a couple episodes. Love it.
They just look like a new wave band to me. Like towards like the 80s,
I could be like a dad or something. Or,
yeah.
I mean, I think Queen is a great band, but yeah.
No, that's
They are great. I'm not saying that they suck. Just
they're a great band. Not one of my favorites, but they're a great band, and they had some great songs, but they're also a band who gets away with a lot of stuff. You couldn't come out with "We Will Rock You" now. It's laughable to me. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But back then, I'm a kid. I love it. "We Will Rock You." Hey. Now it's like, besides being a sports anthem or something like that.
I can't shit on that song. I won't listen to it. I don't want to listen to it on the radio. I don't want to. Because you hear it enough at every sporting event.
Yeah, I mean, Dame, if me and you wrote "We Will Rock You" right now, they would be like, "Really, really?"
Yeah, right.
Come on, what's wrong?
Well, how many kids right now are trying to write the new "We Are the Champions"?
Yeah,
it just doesn't work.
Yeah,
even that. It's
it just happens.
It works for there's magic with some people, and it works. And they're a band that get away with it, and
and it just it has to be the right time too.
Right time, right place. Not every. That's why the magic happens with certain people, the certain bands, and that was a band that and they're huge. It's something they're huge. I like a lot of their stuff, but I don't like everything. I think they get a pass on a lot of goofy stuff.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, because like I was a kid, and I thought I never heard a Queen song until what was it, Wayne's World, where they did the Bohemian Rhapsody.
That really broke them out again.
But then again, I never.
Yeah, it did.
I never knew they did Fights and Dust, where Junkyard Dog came out to that.
That's right. Yeah.
And then there was. I used to love this movie as a kid, Flash Gordon.
Flash.
Yeah. Soundtrack. I didn't know that.
That's a weird one.
Yeah. Why? Yeah. I mean, same thing with me. I mean, I don't know one Queen record, but if I saw them live, I would know all those songs.
Night at the Opera is probably.
Night at the Opera.
It doesn't get. Yeah, that's just a really, really awesome album.
Did you ever see Jim's band?
Oh yeah, they're great. Yeah, saw them.
Experience 33 1/3.
Yeah, saw them 2-3 times. They're great.
Fantastic, great musicians. That band. A lot of them are friends of ours.
Yeah,
great band, great musicians, and they pull it off really well.
Yeah, well, they have to pull it off. You need 15 people, and they do.
And they all could sing. They all could play.
Yeah.
It's definitely impressive.
Yeah.
Do they wear the same mustache? Or they trade it off?
No, we got to tell Justin you got to get a mustache.
Right, no mustache.
That's a good point. We need a mustache. But going back to Motley Crue, Dame. Okay, you remember hearing the story of the Motley Rider where they need to have Grey Poupon mustard?
Oh yeah.
Remember that story?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where they have different kind of mustard, and Vince throws the mustard jar, and it cuts his fucking thumb or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
What was the commercial of that? The Grey Poupon.
The Grey Poupon.
There was a commercial. It was like everybody.
Yeah. It's always like some hoity-toity person in a limo. They pull up, they roll the window down. Excuse me, do you have any Grey Poupon?
That's right. Yeah.
That's it.
And then there was the Polana All Foods. It was kind of similar.
I don't know what that is.
Is that the Polana All Foods or something like that? It was like.
I don't know either.
I was like, oh, they're ripping off the other commercial. It was something like that. Whatever.
But
probably.
What's your condiment of choice, Dane?
Condiment,
not condom. Condiment.
A particular brand or
no? Mustard, ketchup.
Oh, I'm a Golden's hot spicy mustard guy.
There you go. How about you, Mike?
Number one.
Oh man, I would have to go with the horseradish.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Fucking out of left field. Who would have thought of that one?
Yeah.
The
horseradish is very underrated.
Yeah. The horseradish mayonnaise I kind of like.
I'm not
yeah.
Guy, so
I put ketchup on everything. My parents would call me a Metagon. You know what I mean?
Metagon.
I put ketchup on my steak. I don't give a fuck. Listen, I'm the guy. I'd rather have a cheesesteak than a porterhouse. I'll take the cheesesteak over that. But, yeah. But the greatest condiment in the world, cheese. I call cheese a condiment.
I mean, yeah.
Cheese whiz.
Cheese whiz. The real cheese whiz, the salty stuff.
Right.
Not too much of a cheese whiz guy.
Yeah, he's no fun, this dude.
So American.
A Metagon.
Metagon, yeah.
He was the sharp provolone.
Oh, I love sharp provolone.
Oh. Well, we're 3 Dagos. What do you want?
Yeah. I could live on that shit.
Yeah, man. But all in all, another episode of Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes. And we got to go and coming up probably next week, right? So we'll give a little spoiler. We're going to talk your top 20 wrestling themes, wrestling anthems.
I think I actually gave one.
Yeah, you might have slipped one in.
Oh, yeah.
So, check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Spotify, Apple, and all that stuff. And, leave some notes. Talk to us a little bit. We're trying to grow this thing little by little. But thank you for the people that do listen every week.
Tell us how much we suck.
Yeah. And don't forget the motherfucking Great Groupon. All right, guys, we're out. We'll see you next time.
See you.
Bye.